Hello students, welcome to Online Study for You, one-step solution for all your placement needs. So this is a very special video regarding upcoming TCS and QT examinations. So students, I would also like to tell you that TCS has released the slots for students on 24th, 25th, 26th of October, and some are even having their slots on 27th and 28th. So if you have not checked your slots yet, then you can check in our videos. Yesterday, last night, we have uploaded a video on how to check your slots, right? And there you'll be also getting your ID and passwords. So please do check that video and check your slots as well as your passwords. So the agenda for today's video, as you can see, is we'll be discussing some TCS subject NQT. As you know, that this year it is called as subject NQT. The NQT part is only related to aptitude only, and this is a subject NQT also, which was optional, a 1 hour test where there will be 10 MCQs which have to be answered in 15 minutes, and there will be two codes also that have to be answered in 45 minutes, right? Now, so here we will be discussing about TCS subject entity highly expected coding questions. So what we have done, we have analyzed that what questions were coming from which category, and we have created that category. So what you can do is that if you read that questions, then anything, if you do some changes or a slight modifications or something like that, then you can easily do some by changing some of the logic only, you can do that question correctly. Also, we'll be discussing one of the questions which was asked in previous year NQT. Right. So now without wasting much time, let's move ahead to the highly expected question slide. So here is you can see TCS highly expected coding questions. Let me just take a marker here so that I can assist you well. Yeah. So I don't think that these two requires any explanation, the factorial and Fibonacci. The question which we'll be doing today will actually be requiring factorial inside it. So you will be understanding it that how we will be able to do that. Then second, we have circles. So we all know what you have to do. You just remember all the basic formulas for some of the common figures like square, rectangle, circle, their parameters, area, radius, circumference with respect to circle and square also. So these you should know because there then you have to do nothing. You have to just do, if it's area, you have to take r radius as input and r into r. And if it's radius, you have to find diameter, then you have to just double it. Okay, circumference 2 pi r. But you should know that what the formulas are, otherwise you will get into some trouble. Next is LCM, HCF, HCF or GCT, whatever you can call it. So these are also one of the important questions. Then we have even odd. Even odd questions are very easy, as you know, because in even odd, what happens that any number which is given to us, what we will simply do, we will do divide it by 2 and check what is the remainder. But in C terminology, what we do that we don't use divide sign when we want to know about the remainder. What the remainder we are getting, we use that percentage sign, which is called as modulus. See, so we do the modulus of the number by 2, and if we are getting remainder as 0, as we know that any number divided by 2, and if it's completely divided, then it's even. So if remainder is 0, we will consider it as even. Otherwise, we will consider it as odd. Then we have prime numbers. We know what are the prime numbers. Any number which is divided by itself and 1. One number is not the prime number. We should also know this. So prime number starts from 2, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 23. These all are prime numbers. Then there is something strong number, which definition is not clear by the name strong, what is actually it is. So today we are going to discuss this question. So please don't leave this video, because after this explanation, I'll be starting with the coding part of this strong number. What is strong number and how do we code that? Then we have palindromes and Armstrongs. Palindromes, as we know that which are read similarly, if read from right hand side or left hand side, like 1 to 1 or 1 to 1 to 1, like these numbers, right? Then number conversion questions. In number conversion questions, what do I mean by this is those codes where we are asked to do some binary to decimal conversion, decimal to binary, binary to hexadecimal, these things, right? So this is the code. This part is related to those. Reverse number or string, if it is given 1 2 3, then you have to convert into 3 2 1. For doing that also you have to work with the digits. So in the question which I'll be telling you today, with that you will be able to do this, means you will get an idea about this factorial also. I will going to tell this strong number, but you will get idea about the strong number also, some idea how to approach for palindrome Armstrong, as well as his reverse number also. Then we have pyramids and diamond pattern. The pattern questions we can also get, but they have slightly lower chances compared to all that, because pattern questions are not asked that much in previous tests, but they are asked still, but not that much. So yes. Now when I write here bubble sort, it's not it does not mean that they will be asking you to write a code in bubble sort only like that. I've written bubble sort here because the questions are like that: print largest two elements of from an array, or second largest element from an array, or top three elements from an array. So then we can use bubble sort. Because now what's more important, I would like to tell you that questions will not be like coming in straightforward way. Like it won't be like they are asking, please write a code to print area of circle or these of circle. There'll be something like there might be some changes. Like if they will be asking for simple even odd, then they will be asking some like print even or odd numbers in a specific range, or prime numbers in a specific range, right? Similarly in patterns also, it's not although patterns are already difficult, but it's not necessary that there will be a normal like this, this type of this right angle triangle will be asked. Might possible that these are asked, and as you know, diamond pattern I've also written, so these kind of also possible. So there must be some changes, small changes, and I've chosen strong number for discussion because it has all the properties. You will get an idea about factorial also. You'll get idea of about palindrome Armstrong also, about these reversing number also, and also idea of how, in what way they will be making some normal modification in the question, so that just increasing your some mind work. So I think now we can start with it. So what is strong number? Strong number, we can see the question statement: write a program to check if the given number is strong or not. Okay, the value n is a positive integer that should be read from std, that is from standard input. We have to read it n. That means if you are working with C, you have to do scanf percentage d ampersand n, and if you are working with Python, then it's simple, you have to just take input, right? Also I would like to tell you that in the explanation they write like this, that value n, you have to take input in value n, but it's not always strict that whenever you are taking input, then you write like this only, that n equals to input. Not necessary that you have to use this variable only, right? So yeah, this thing I wanted that you know. So in this input n is equal to input, you can not necessary that you take it as capital N only, this code for Python. Okay, so here it is written that should be read from study in. Other than yes or no, no other character string or message should be print to a standard output. This is also important thing. What we used to do is, since we are having some normal habit, we write like that the output of this code is yes or no, or the number is strong, not strong. We should not write like this. The output, whatever given yes or no, that only we have to print, right, in final output. Because if it's strong number, we will print yes in capital. Also please notice this: if it is written in capital or written in small, or written in first all capital and other small, so please look through this, that this can also give you wrong output. Now for example, you can see n is equal to 145, a strong number, so only yes should be printed to standard output. For example, it is a kind of simple test case, that is nothing else. For and they also told us indirectly, they told us that 145 is actually a strong number. So when we will be checking our code or debugging our code, we can take 145 as input. Now for explanation of what is strong number, they have given this. So it's not like a question of our chemistry or physics that they introduce like a term and they ask us that write something about it or something. They, although they given a very strange name, strong number, but they are here explaining also that was actually a strong number is, right? So what is written: sum of factorial of digits of a number equal to that number. Sum of factorial of every digit of that number must be equal to that number. To understand it more perfectly, let's move to our Visual Studio here. Moving ahead, I want to tell you here about some material which we have especially prepared for you guys so that you can do good in your test. So what you need to do only, you have to just search our YouTube channel name on Google, that is Online Study for You, and then going to this very first link.
Now friends, I will take you through the quiz contest. So friends, if you click on the quiz contest, then we have quiz here. Click on that and then you can see TCS NQT 2021 special quiz. So friends, we have free quiz and then we have paid quiz. So friends, paid quiz for 10 quiz we have just put the price 49 rupees. So friends, first you take the free quiz, and if you like, because we have already included SDLC and decision making, all these kind of problems, so you can go through the free quiz and then you can go for the paid quiz. So 10 quiz will be available in the paid quiz. And friends, we have also released the TCS NQT crash course, and that is just for 249 rupees. So friends, in these 4-5 days, if you go through these courses, then there is a huge chance that you are going to crack the TCS examination like last year, where we had given more than 5,000 results.
Okay, so now here I will tell you that what a strong number actually is. So since with the question already told us indirectly that 145 is that number which will be giving correct output or will give a yes in output because it is a strong number, right? So let's going by the definition what was told to us, that we will do factorial of the digits. We are doing factorial of digits and their sum. As you can see, we have placed addition sign in between. Then this will be equal to the 145. So let's check if it's happening in this case, because question say that it will give a yes. So factorial for 1 is 1. The factorial for 4 will be 4, 3. So students, now what I would like to tell you, that whenever you get a question, although you know that okay, 4 factorial will be 24, 5 factorial 1 to 0, but please write the question in this way only, because writing in this way will actually tell you that how at the very basic level how things are going, right? Even if you are not known how to do that simple factorial question, but still by reading this you will get to understand that okay, we have to extract the digit firstly, and then what we have to do, we will use a for loop, we will decrement it and will multiply all the numbers which will be facing while decrementing. So 4 3 2 1 multiplication, that will be answer. So that is why that you should always write in the very basic, extreme basic level, then only you will be very easier for you to make the logic. So if we calculate it, simplifying it, 1 is 1, 4 3 2, 4 3 12, 12 2 24, and 5 4 20, 23 60, 62 120. If we will add it, 120 144 plus 1 145. So yes, this is correct and the output will be yes. So here we understood what actually a strong number is, extract the digits, and factorial. So before going, we can write here the steps. Step 1 will be to extract the digits, and step 2 will fact of each digit, right? We have to extract the digit and simultaneously we will be doing the factorial. So I will move this below so that I can write the code in the, yeah, here, just moving it up. So here it was written in question, we have to take input, and as I told you, not necessary that we take input in that variable only which is given in question. I usually prefer taking any number input in small n, so I will do this. Now student, I have chosen Python programming language for this question, because not only because it's very easy to understand, also because our non-CSIT students faced quite problem, as we saw in comments section of previous these coding videos, that they asked for code in Python, or many other students also asked for code in Python. So today we are trying with this, we are coding this in Python, because as we know, Python 3 is now allowed in TCS NQT examination, right? So it's not only Python 2.7, Python 3 is also there. So there is no problem what we faced whatever seniors faced till past year, last year, right? So n equals to input, we are taking the input here. Now what I want to tell you, in Python default input type is string, right? I will write here also for your reference. Default type is string. So since I have not mentioned any data type of this n, it will be considered as string. But since we know here that the number which you are taking in input is integer data type and we have to work with integers only, no string is allowed, then we could have changed this like this. This is called as typecasting. Typecasting means actually data type casting. We are changing the data type of n, which was previously string, to now int. But in this question, I will not change it. I will not typecast it. I will for some time I will use it as string only. Why so? Very soon you will get to know about it. That why I am doing so and considering it as string only. So okay, let's start. For x in n. When I wrote this line, what does it mean? Because since if I wrote this on taking it as integer, what would have happened that we can't iterate on an integer, but we can iterate on strings, right? So what we will do, we will iterate on one character. So that is why our first step, that is extracting the digits, will be solved, because in the first iteration we will get 1, then we will get 4, then we will get 5. So when it is written for x in 5 in first iteration, we will be getting in x value of 1. Now from now on, since we have to use it in integer only, integer as an integer data type only. Now I have converted into integer. So okay, now we will start the main function for how to create loop while x greater than 1. I will write some code, then I will tell you that why I have done so, because then it would be more clear to you and you can relate it with. Okay, so I will tell you why I have written this much. So I will write something here. What you will understand from here, what we have to do, we have to multiply 4 into 2, 4 into 3. We saved it in 12, and next time we actually require that 12 again. This saved value we require again, and like this. Then again the saved value 24 we require again for doing this. Although last not mandatory, because any number multiplied by 1 will give the number itself. Okay, fine. So what we learned from here, let's take the steps upside. If they would be visible, it would be more clear. That's why what I have done, I have taken a variable product names prod, which will be saving all the products which we'll be getting, and next time again that product only will be multiplying with the new number we will get, like 3, 2, 1. Here I will initially take value prod is equal to 1. I'm not taking it as 0, because then any number multiplying by 0 will become 0. But any number multiplying by 1 will not actually affect the number, because it will remain the number itself. So initially I have taken it as 1. And then as we saw that we will get a digit, and then we have to at every next time we have to decrease it by 1. So then I will write here x equals x minus 1 here, right? Finally, so what is happening here, suppose a number will come 4 in it. Suppose the for loop is in its second iteration, the number which will be getting 4 is converted into integer. Okay, now 4 is integer, 4 greater than 1, right? So 1 multiplied by 4, wait, 4 equals 1 multiplied 4, this will happen, and x will now become 3. Then again what will happen, in product what will come, 12, because of product, which was product, as you can see 4 here, then 4 will be multiplied by 3, that's why we have got 3, and then it will become 2. So this way uh, the factorial of this digit will be completed. But what we have to do, not a factorial, we have to sum all these factorials. So to do this, when the control will come out of these loops, it means we are having the factorial of a specific digit in our hand. We will save it in a variable named sum, and here we can assign the sum as 0, because initially it should be 0, and then it will be adding up, because for 1 it will be 1 When 4 will come, then what we actually require that 1 will remain there, and then we also need to add 12 there. Next time what we require that 1 and 12 remain there, and we more I would like to add this, sorry, this would be 24, right? So that's why I'm saving the variable, the all the values inside this sum variable. So now we are done with all the basic coding part which was required here. Also, that this sum is getting 0 every time here. This should not be here. You have to place it here, because then what happened that whenever we will get a new digit, again the sum will become 0. So it will actually initially it will lose the previous value. So in starting I have named it as sum equals to 0 even before this loop. So now we have done all the basic common part. Now the very simple things are left. What is that? That is, if that sum is equal to n, means that number, then print. What you can print? Yes, I would like to tell you that here we can use double quotes or single quote, okay, but should be in right pair, so that's allowed in Python. Otherwise we will print. Here I will use double quotes so that you can understand. We can use any. Now there is one problem, that this n initially is of type string. So here also when I am comparing, I will convert into this type. Now we will run it and we will check that if there are any errors. So before running it, what we need to do, we have to remove this string also, because it will create error, because we placed it just outside here. We did not include it as a comment. So now let's try and check if there are any more errors. Okay, so why wait? Because we have to actually give the input 145, and we have got yes, and continue. Okay. So, but not only here, I will take you through several other test cases also, so that, because they should give false, no, correct. Some boundary value analysis should we try? Yes. Um, no, and for one also, it will give. Okay, students. So, two things I would like to tell you here before ending the video. The first thing is, you have to tell me that since it is 0, why the answer is not 1? That means why the answer is not yes. You have to tell it to me in comment box. So this is the question for you all. And the second thing, that students, please comment down that what other codes or questions which you want me to code in Python, or you want the solutions only in C language only. So please comment your suggestions so that we can improve and help you in better way. So please subscribe to this channel, press the bell icon, and we would meet soon in our very next video. Thank you.